Alright, Gulf Coast independent wrestling fans, welcome to our Booze Fest, Live Fest, bullshit, whatever the hell you want to call it, fest. We just felt like doing something different than our usual Front Row Fanatics segment, so as we continue along in this little adventure, Elixiandra, what's the next question?
Okay, Matt actually has kind of two questions. He wants to know. He wants to know who
He's lucky I'm going to whip his ass and take that BTY shirt, Matt. You hear? I'm going to whip your ass. And by the way, Alabama sucks.
He wants to know who chopped the hardest and who chopped the weakest. But the weakest, I think that would be kind of insulting to answer that one. But as y'all are drinking...
I know his answer. It was vicious. God damn.
Okay, well, I will say... I will answer for the hardest chop that I've taken was from Justin Stone after an Ultimate Wrestling show in Pensacola. The people there, unfortunately, we didn't capture the whole moment on video. I thought people were going to start crying after that.
People were calling out for Jesus and shit. It was so
They were ready to go to church and pass the biscuits and praise the Lord. And Justin Stone, and that's not an insult to, because I've been chopped by some people that can lay the chops.
BTY looks pretty hard.
BTY chops hard. John Riker chops very hard. But I would have to, and there's video evidence to check it out. Justin Stone gave me the hardest chop that I've ever taken.
The funny part about that is Justin came up to me, and we had talked to him about giving us the chop, and Gargoyle had not been to an Ultimate show in a while, and so I was all set up to take the chop, and then Gargoyle was like, "I'll do one," and I said, "Well, go ahead. We hadn't filmed you doing one in a while." And I said, "I'll do one after you." And Justin Stone just chopped the shit out of him. And afterwards, he's like, "You ready?" And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to catch you in Milton, dude. I was like, holy fuck.
And the funny part, people were going, "You're bleeding, you're bleeding." And, I put my shirt back on. It's funny, I'm driving home from Pensacola to my house, and I feel it's like droplets running down my chest. I'm not looking, I'm not bleeding and everything. And I got home and I snuck into the bathroom. Didn't want my wife to see because she doesn't like the idea of me getting chopped anyway and all that shit. And I was looking to make sure, but it was just drops of sweat from the pain where I was swelling up from where Justin laid that chop. Awesome chop, Justin.
For me, it's like a two-way tie. Death Row, he chopped the shit out of me.
Who I have not taken a chop from yet.
And I know he didn't hit me with everything he had. I mean, it still hurt. A close second would be Joe Gibson because...
Who I have also not taken a chop.
I'm not quite sure. For a while, I thought we had legitimate heat with Joe. I'm still not sure. But he came up, and I thought he just wanted to film a promo. And I kind of got there, and he's like, "Get up here and take your shirt off." And I was like, "Oh, you want to do that?" And I was like,
that doesn't sound right, but he's talking about do the chop.
Yeah, and I was like, you know what, we got a lot of stock footage of chops, and he's just staring at me. What do you do? So I took my shirt off, he chops the shit out of me, and I'm like, and then he's just staring at me, so I said, "Yes, sir," and then he nails me again, right in the same spot, and I swear to God, man, that one stung pretty good, so...
Alright.
There's been a lot of chops, but those are the two that stand out in my mind. And I know that one he took from Justin was brute. That was just vicious.
Are we going to give a weakest chop, or are we going to defer on that for fearing for our own safety?
Let's defer.
Okay, we're going to defer, even though I do have a...
I know two right away there. And I got a couple too, but anyway, go ahead.
Alright, next question, please.
Alright, this one's just for the Gargoyle.
Oh, shit.
Mr. Heinrich wants to know where the hell his beer's at.
Oh my God, where's my buddy Heinrich? Hey, wait. Hey. Oh yes, I am Heinrich. I am here with the beer. I'm sorry I neglected my good friend Heinrich. He's an integral part of this show. He loves swilling beer, so he's going to hang out here with us for a while. So, all right, Heinrich, chill out.
All right, this one is from Sean in Pascagoula.
Pascagoula?
What has been the best angle you have seen on the Gulf Coast? I'm not sure I understand that one, but...
Best angle. Well, I don't know. It's hard to say. There have been quite a few good ones, but one of the best ones would be the Nick Virtue versus the Omega in Ultimate. Awesome. And they took the time to develop that angle over a course of months, and they kept putting different twists and turns on it. You had the Cult of Omega versus the former Senator Nick Virtue and his fold, and to me, I don't know, that was one of the best ones in a while. Because Nick, if you saw the evolution of the Nick Virtue, he started out kind of as a cheesy televangelist. Then all of a sudden, he's putting videos up of him cutting promos in Vane's bedroom with her sleeping. I mean, it got really sadistic quick. So that was one of my favorites. What about you?
Well, I would definitely have to say that was one of the best laid out, planned, developed storyline angles that I've seen in independent wrestling in this area for a long time. There's been a few in Mossy Head when they first introduced Scarface. At the time, he was Scarface Terry Riker.
Yeah, that was...
And they built that one up over a period of time there in Mossy Head, which was good. HPW's had some feuds with the future legends of wrestling, but I would definitely have to go with that Nick Virtue versus Omega, the Fold versus the Cult, would probably have to be right now my all-time indie
that's good.
angle.
For some reason, people want to get us in trouble tonight. He also wants to know what's been the worst.
Well, I got a double answer for that. One of the worst angles I saw had potential to be the best angle ever, and it was in XW 2000, and it was after PWA had folded, and they were doing this invasion thing, which I got to admit, I was smart to the business, but I thought this was a 100% shoot. Who was it? Kyle, Nick Virtue, or he was Nick Vortex at the time, Maze, Reiner, all of them came and sat in the audience and just started ragging the shit out of these guys. I mean, this thing came across so legit, people were calling the police.
Absolutely.
It was, and I was just like, holy Jesus, what did we just witness? And after, it all kind of died down later in the evening, Sika came out and he goes, I don't know what that was. That wasn't planned. And I looked at my son and I was like, we just got worked.
Yeah.
We just got worked. And it just sort of ruined it.
Exactly. Sad to say that a guy with the Hall of Fame credentials like that ruined what could have built up an awesome inter-promotional feud and storyline.
Yeah.
But that was not planned.
As soon as he said that, because my son, he was younger at the time. He was probably 8 or something. And he actually got scared. Dad, look. And I was just like, this might be real, I felt like such a fucking mark after it. But when Sika came out and said that, I was like, we got work.
Yeah,
and they never did get any closure on that thing either.
No, I'm telling you, that was, as a fan, that was what kind of disappointed me the most.
Yeah.
That they didn't bring the closure of the PWA invasion against XW 2000. But, what can you say? It's indie wrestling. It is what it is. And sometimes you don't get what you want. So,
right. What about you?
Well, we're getting the high sign for some time, so we're going to take a break.